Today I'm gonna show you how to light or lit for film. Now, I already have my project 7. That was the one that I'm using, and you see that I set up already my helmet. I did the constraint as that says in the project, and I set up correctly my project. So when I open my file, it was already set up with the images, so I don't have to import anything because I set up correctly my Maya file first. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna do, I already upload a video for color management. I make sure that you can see the video and understand what color management is. It's from BSD. It's the same information that you're supposed to receive already on BSD. The only difference is that it's set up in 2014. Now, the first thing that I'm gonna set is by default, I didn't have anything available here, so I'm gonna go and put mental ray on my render settings. I'm going to enable color management, make sure that the default input is sRGB and the default output is linear sRGB. Now I'm going to change this one here for my image format to OpenEXR. Okay, in this case I'm going to change to render layer dash render layer slash render layer. Here we go. My zips files, so it's going to be in zip. Instead of one frame is going to be number name number extension. The frame padding is going to be on set on 2, and of course I have to make sure that it's 73 frames, okay, when I do my batch render. Now the next thing that I have to remember is that I'm going to go here and the render options and enable default light is off. Okay, I'm going to close that panel. Now, everything is going to look completely dark if I choose a render right now, but still I have to do few things on my render view, and it's go to displays, in this case because I set up already in another Maya projects. Maybe most of you have the 8-bit integer, change to 32-bit float point, 32-bit floating point HDR. Now, as soon as this is set up correctly, go again to display color management, and he will open in the attributes editors of the render viewer. Okay, when that happens directly, no, because I don't have anything. Let's see if I can see it right here. Awesome. Let's go again, display color management. Here we go. Default viewer color management. By default is an sRGB. You have to change this one for linear because we render in linear, and the display color profile is sRGB. Okay. Now, if I hit render, I will see only the image sequence or anything else because there's no light at all. I don't have any lights. Okay, so that's fine. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up and start setting up my lights. Okay, now to set up the lights, there's a technique that we use for visual effects for film, and it's in bring the IBL. So the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my indirect lights, the IBL, create an IBL or image-based lighting. This one is gonna be an angular, and I'm gonna select the image that is the IBL shot, the indirect path. Now it's gonna look like that. That's fine. I'm gonna go now to my perspective so I can see it, and I see there's few things. The first thing, if I go here, I cannot see what I'm losing. Now first is too big my set, so I have to go to my camera first, my view camera right now from the perspective, and add at least 2 zeros. There we go. My image plane is behind. My image plane is behind my IBL, and that will give me an error, okay? Because I won't see the IBL, the image plane. So what I have to do is get my IBL right now and put it bigger. There we go. Until I can see my image plane. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change, because you can see that my IBL right here shows me what is all the background that I create with the IBL. So I'm gonna change my IBL. So I'm gonna scale it. No, I scale it already. I'm gonna transform this guy and move, actually rotate, until I can see the computer. Now, if I go closer to this position right here and look through here, the computer is supposed to be in this side right here, from the side. So I can go back, move, so I can see that my computer, this computer right here, the one in the IBL, is kind of aligned closer of or represents in space what this one represents right here. Okay, so when that's kind of in the set, okay, I can see it. Looks fine from there. Now I'm ready to start creating the lights. So the first thing that I did so far is bring the IBL, actually set at first my common tab and set up all the way up my color management, set up the color management on my viewer, and now bring the IBL and set up the IBL so we match close, fairly match close what we have in the background plate. Why? Because that's the main idea to create the lights. We're going to use the IBL to bring those lights here because they're already in the set. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do right now is I'm going to my rendering tab and I'm going to create a basic spotlight. Okay, I'm going to change from decay to quadratic. That's the first one. That's fine. And I'm gonna go and look through selected. So I'm gonna look through my light to light number 1, and I'm gonna go up. There we go. So I can see it from a light and move all the way to this area so I can see it. Now, from this position on, I will try to move this guy until not until it disappears, but until I can reach a certain area. So I can go to my perspective now. Here we go. See where the light is. The light is right there all the way down. There you go. From here, and I'm gonna move this light closer to this area right here because that's the light that we're gonna represent. Okay, I know that we have an angular area here, but those lights are the ones that gonna use for basic understanding how the lighting was created. Okay, so I'm gonna go through here, set the light again so I can see it, bring this light all over here. Here we go, to this area right here, closer to that area, from here, kind of like that. And these are gonna be my base lighting. Look through selected again. There we go. And now I can go inside the light. Nice, it won't let me. Let's go again through the perspective. Maybe I went a little bit out. So I go inside. Yes, now that I'm inside the light, go to the camera, go again through the light, and go all the way on until I can see my character. Here we go. Look through selected again. Awesome, I cannot see my character right now. Let's hit T to see where my light was showing. There we go. And I can move this guy. That's to show me when the light is facing. I move to the character. Now when I look to selected, now I'm supposed to see my character still. There we go. Farther away, but it's fine. I can see that's the whole point of this one. Okay. So now this is gonna be my key light. For me, I put the name light 1 most of the time, or L1. There we go. I made sure that kind of resembles. It comes from that area, okay? So when he comes up from that area, I just setting up everything correctly. The intensity is gonna be in the thousands maybe. So I'm gonna start for 100. And then now I can go and do a test render. So I'm gonna go to camera 1, do a small test render, and see how it looks. Don't worry about the background, it's completely blowing out. I will explain you why. Okay, I can see some resemblance of the light right there. It's not too much, but it's completely dark, okay? So now, the background looks completely bright, not the regular background. And it's because the Maya doesn't do any color management or color correction on the image plane. How we gonna fix that? We're gonna go directly to that camera 1. We go to the image plane of camera 1, scroll down and change the image file to texture. Yes, it will not be displayed here, but we don't need it to be displayed in the viewer right now because you already set up our the object already. We set up the helmet in project 7. So now I can go directly and find the images. So I can go here, click, bring those files, and these are the ones that I'm been using, the JPEG sequence. Now if I render out, it will render this one correctly with the color space directly. Here we go. And with the light that is completely really dark. So I can go back to the light 1. Let's hit another 0, 1000, do another render. Nope. Let's do 10,000. So put another 0 right there. And don't worry about that. When it's quadratic, it's fine. Because quadratic is the regular one that goes closer to reality. On the lights. There we go. Now I can see it. Still, it's not the best, but it's fine. So let's go. Actually, I think I moved my camera. So let's make sure that I'm in camera 1. And I can, instead of, let's do 30,000. Render out again. Okay, I can see that my image plane is not moving. That's because when I set up my image plane right now, I didn't tell the image plane that it's supposed to be texture, use image sequence. Yeah, I could define. Okay, it's supposed to be using an image sequence. That's weird. There we go. Use image sequence. There we go. Now it's set up. And use default input profile. That's nice. Now if I hit render again, it will look better. Now, I don't like how it looks still. It's too dark. So I'm gonna increase this guy. So I'm gonna go to that light and I'm gonna increase from 30 to 50. 50,000. and have to be closer to what we have here, okay? So now that I can see it, okay, kind of still like maybe can move to 65 maybe. So I'm gonna pay 65,000. And that is because of my constraint. The distance constraint that I set up, it's the one that change everything when you start working directly with the camera. Okay, so make sure that your distance constraint works fine for you. So now I like what I have so far, so good. This one you can see that is completely harsh, this area right here. So I'm gonna fix that out. So I'm gonna go all the way down to the shadows. Let's say the light radius to 10 to see if this one helps. Let me show first, keep this image so we can see it, and bring the other one. Okay, still doesn't have anything move directly. Let's do 20 in the radius. Nope. Let's do 50. Okay, it starts smoothing out a little bit. Let's change the shadows ratio too. Still, it's a little bit better. If you keep this one between this one and the other one, you will see that starts getting from the harsh to the other one. It's a little bit smoother. Not enough, still not enough. So I can still play a little bit and say this one maybe to 5. Okay, keep this one. Still, let's delete the first two, keep the one. Let's say 10. Okay, much better. Still a bit too dark, so maybe I can increase this one to 75. I just moved in the shadows. I want those shadows to be smooth. There we go. I like it now how it looks so far. Okay, much better, more smoother. Now I can continue. I have one light. Let's go for the second one. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna create a second spotlight. There we go. Look to select it. And I'm gonna go back. Make sure that I'm looking to this guy right now from this side. And I'm gonna go closer to what light I have in this position, okay? Let's see if I go to my perspective. There we go. It's kind of, if I look through this to my light, that is this one right here. Go a little bit up, go back. And let's go for this, actually from this light, from this side, okay? camera 1. I can move this guy so we know for sure that is lighting the area that I wanted. Now I can increase that light because that light is not decaying quadratic, so it's quadratic now. Do the intensity closer to the other one, so let's start for 5. And let's hit 7 here so I can see it. There we go. Let's go for light 1. It's on 65, light 5, SM50. Let's put a 60 from the side. And let's render these out. Okay, it's not bad, but still they give me that shadow right here. So now that I set up my lights from side to side, I set up one light from this side, one light from this side, but still this one doesn't give me the look that I wanted, so I can start playing with that directly. Okay, so I can go again to my perspective side, go closer to see it, closer. Okay, and I can see the issue. The issue is that my light is too not only farther away, but actually mostly on top. So I'm gonna bring this light down a little bit, and that's what I'm doing here. It's because even that the light is closer to the original position, remember with either in a dome, it's not supposed to be like that. So this one is my reference light. Now I can go down to get more theatrical lighting and more believable. Okay, so you can see that it kind of in this side, so I want to this one goes from this side instead. Let's go to camera 1 and you might have a better position. Let's see it. Still maybe not enough. Let's go from look to selected. There we go. I'm missing my guy right now, so let's go a little bit closer. Okay, from here. Now, one thing that we must remember when that happens, you will see the arch right now. That's what the light is hitting directly. I have to make sure I'm rendering frame 26, but I have to make sure if I go back to frame 1 and click and see my whole camera, my whole object movement, I can see that it's always in my light. Okay, the light is always hitting the. I did not do any constraint to the lights. Why? Because the lights are not moving. The one that is moving is only the helmet. And if we constrain the lights directly to that person, it's gonna look like an aura, like a saint. No shadows will be moved, and that's not what we want because we want a more realistic lighting. Okay. Now, light number 2 is fine. Get a better position right now. So let's go for the third light. Okay, and of course this one says spotlight 1, spotlight 2. That's fine. Let's go for the third light. So I'm gonna click, create my third light, look to selected. There we go. Going back and up, so I can see the helmet. And of course I'm gonna change this up a little bit because it's kind of like this. That's my rim light. Okay, or light number 3. It's up to you guys. Now I'm gonna go again, go to my perspective so I can see where my light is. Okay, and if I go, nice, this kind of resembles what I have in this light right here at the side. Okay, I can go all the way through here so to go a little bit farther away. Actually I can use any of those, but we're gonna recreate a 3-point light only, so I might stay with this guy instead of this one. Okay, now let's go again, look to selected, make sure that I can get closer until I see my helmet. That's fine. Cool. There we go. Now let's do the same. Change this guy to quadratic. Here we go. Let's say the intensity to 50 to start, 50,000. And that might change for your project, okay? Maybe in yours it's gonna be in the thousands only, or maybe in 100, but you remember that you have to change to quadratic, okay? That's really important. Now I can go to perspective camera 1, and let's see it. Wait a little bit. There we go. Now I can see that everything is working fine. It's okay. I like it, my lights. Now, the last thing that I have to do is make sure that everybody have the same settings for my lights. This one is 75 and 10. That's going to be same 75 and 10. And the third one 75 and 10. There we go. Now if I go again to my camera 1, render again the frame that I'm going to use. Nice, I'm ready to start doing my render layers. Okay guys.